What advice would you have for someone who wants to make a drastic change for the better, but is not really sure how to get there, how to manifest it?
I think one of the most beautiful things in life is our ability to make decisions. And so just because you make a decision doesn't mean you can't make another decision, right?
Hmm.
And so, I think that's probably a big barrier for people because they're worried about whether it's the right decision. Well, what are the implications of me making this decision and moving abroad for a certain amount of time? But that's the beauty of it. If you move abroad and it doesn't work out, at least you did it,
Yeah.
and you can make a decision to go somewhere else or go back. And so I would think that it would be important to not forget that, nothing's permanent. You can always move on. And, it's very cliche to say, but um, you're going to regret the things you don't do rather
Hmm.
than the things that you do,
Yeah.
especially, and it's always been something that I've found really important is to listen to people who were much older in life, like, towards the end of their life, and listen to the things that they have to say.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be there, And so if I can avoid some regret by taking this wisdom from them,
Yeah.
then I'm going to do it. And so I think that's something that's important to remember is that, you know, you can do it. And if you don't like it, you can make another decision and change.
Yeah. No, that's a really good point too. You can't regret the things that you can't do. Like it's better, or you can't regret the things that you don't do. It's better to fuck up, and even if it's not the right decision, at some point it's going to be a story at least to look back on, rather than sitting in a job or in a relationship or situation that you don't want, and you're thinking about or fantasizing about this alternate life that you could have had. um, it's much better to just make the decision like you have, and just, for better or worse, just ride it out. And like you said, you can always, decisions aren't binary. You can make a decision, and then if that decision is not good, you can slightly pivot and alter, and change degrees a little bit, and then just changing a little bit changes the destination 5, 10, 15 years down the line.
Yeah, and I agree 100%. And I think it's so amazing that we have that ability
Yeah.
to make those decisions for ourselves and then act upon them. And I think, I mean, it's not for everybody. And, I can sit here and preach about how it's important to take those risks. But it's not going to be so clear cut with everybody. You know, with regard to whatever the responsibilities they have or what's tying them down.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's a really important thing to take into consideration. And even if it doesn't end up being exactly what you thought it was going to be, it's up to you whether you learn something from it or
Yeah.
not. Right. And so, um, getting out there in the world, you're always going to learn something. And it's been the best education that I've had. I mean, I went through college. I did fine. I had good grades, but I didn't learn so much.
Yeah.
I just like, okay, I'm going to get this done. But I feel like everything I've learned has been through doing and experiencing.
Yeah.
So it's an invaluable education.